I've heard that expansion talk way too many times, and every time we try, it ends up with a bunch of...
You're dead, asshole!
Season's greetings, gamers. I'm Eurogamer's YouTube editor, Ian Higton. Now, The Last of Us was absolutely fantastic, right? Naughty Dog's survival horror, which brought the fungus among us, was in every aspect a true AAA game, pushing the PS3 to its graphical limits while delivering one of the most compelling and absorbing narratives of the year. The way the campaign mixed action and stealth while delivering an ever-present feeling of dread meant that I played the whole game on the edge of my seat.
I was too damn close.
The relationship between the main protagonists, Joel and Ellie, felt real. It was at times funny, at times touching, and occasionally it was utterly heartbreaking. Thanks to the strength of the writing, it was easy to believe they were real people. You could put yourself in their shoes and feel what they were feeling. These two weary survivors were nothing like the cookie-cutter, personality-free white male army bros that feature in most AAA games.
Hey, Ellie, slow down. Wait for me.
What? Right here.
How about you let me go first and keep your voice down?
Okay.
Naughty Dog even eschewed the traditional Hollywood-style ending for something a lot deeper and quite possibly darker than anyone could have imagined. And it's a cliffhanger that's left a whole generation of gamers aching for more. Now, you came here to find out why The Last of Us is my game of 2013, and you may be surprised to find out it's not because of any of those points I just listed. I mean, it should be, just for the campaign alone, but the real draw for me, the thing that kept me coming back for more time and time again, and the real reason I count The Last of Us as my game of 2013, is for its criminally overlooked multiplayer mode.
Oh man, thanks.
Hardly mentioned in reviews and given very little coverage after the fact, the Factions mode, as Naughty Dog coined it, was easily the most fresh and exciting multiplayer portion of a game that I have experienced this year. It would have been so easy for them to tack on a by-the-numbers, cover-based shoot-'em-up mode just for the hell of it, just to get that extra tick on the AAA ingredients checklist, and as an easy way to get some extra sales from the online gamers. I mean, really, why not? Everyone else was doing it. The Tomb Raider reboot and Spec Ops: The Line are just two games off the top of my head that unnecessarily included bland multiplayer portions. They both had solid campaigns which could have easily carried the games by themselves, but current development logic seems to dictate that you must have a multiplayer, even if it's half-arsed.
Firefly, watch yourself!
But Naughty Dog, they didn't go half-arsed. They played by their own rules, took a risk and created their own style of multiplayer, and hell, it didn't even include a zombies-stroke-infected horde mode, which, in a game about zombies, is pretty much unheard of. It's like they actually put some thought into it and challenged themselves to create something that avoided following the well-established norm. I know, crazy, right? You begin the Factions experience by aligning yourself as one of two factions, Hunters or Fireflies. Although this choice doesn't affect the overall gameplay, it does affect an underlying metagame, which, if connected to Facebook, will populate your faction with your real-life friends and family. By completing objectives in the multiplayer and gathering supplies from your fallen foes, you'll be able to protect them from outbreaks of sickness or raids from bandits. Fail in your objectives though and you'll see the numbers of your faction drop as they slowly die out. It's something that you'll be more inclined to fight for if you give your faction members real human faces, but it's nothing more than a thread to tie the whole experience together. When the game first launched, Factions had two main multiplayer modes, Survivors and Supply Raid, and both modes are the complete antithesis of the countless run-and-gun Twitch shooter COD clones which the majority of gamers are familiar with nowadays. You soon learn that this game is not for the lone wolves. Run off from the group at your peril, young gamer. These modes are all about planning, pace, and most importantly, teamwork. Expertly absorbing the crafting mechanic from the campaign into a major part of the online gameplay, players must scavenge materials from lockboxes in order to craft items which will give them an edge over their opponents. Items like bombs can be made and thrown or set as traps, Molotov cocktails can be crafted for some speedy one-hit kills, providing your aim is true. You can also craft smoke bombs, shivs for silent kills, and medical kits which prove the most valuable if you want to keep your team alive.
Keep breathing. I got this.
Glad you're covering my ass.
Victory on both Survivors and Supply Run modes comes from successfully eliminating the enemy team. In Supply Run, each team has a finite number of respawns, while Survivors is played in rounds, with each team member only having one life and no respawns. It's Survivors mode that really gets the adrenaline going, and it's when played with a group of friends that it really shines. Planning out flanking routes, placing bombs in choke points, trapping your foes in buildings and then slowly surrounding them before downing them and finishing them off with a brutal execution. Whatever route you take, communication is key, and it's great when a plan comes together. But when it doesn't and you're the last man alive, being hunted by a fully crewed enemy team is terrifying. It's rare you'll be able to take out a whole team by yourself, of course, but managing to do so is exhilarating to say the least. With 4 DLC maps and a new mode called Interrogation already added and more maps on the way, it's safe to say the majority of gamers won't be seeing The Last of Us for a while yet, and it really is a multiplayer mode that deserves to be experienced by all. If you played through the campaign and then returned the game to your shelf without even dipping into factions, you really do owe it to yourself to try it out. It's a fabulous addition to an already incredible game, and it's a brilliant example of what can be done when AAA developers refuse to bow to conventions and give themselves a bit of creative freedom. Good job, Naughty Dog. Have a bone on me.
All done. Let's go.